Good morning, friends. I am Lalit Vaikule, Deputy Director, Maratha Chamber of Commerce. Today, we are having an e-session on COVID-19 schemes offered by Bank of Maharashtra, and the schemes will be presented by Mr. Prashant Khatawkar, General Manager, Pune Zone, Bank of Maharashtra. I will, without wasting much time, I'll just pass on this to Mr. Khatawkar.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you can start.
Yes. Good morning, all. I am Prashant Khatawkar. As introduced to you all, I am from Bank of Maharashtra. I am at present working as a zonal head of Pune city. I am audible, sir. Everybody.
Yes.
Yes. So it's a great feeling talking to you all through this webinar. And as you all know, that this webinar is done because we have to keep social distancing in today's condition. We all are aware that at present, before going into exactly the schemes, let us understand the background of this COVID-19, some little background and the impact of that COVID-19, which prompted all the industries to come out with various schemes. Now we are going through a very challenging period at present because of this COVID-19 pandemic, and why only India, entire globe is today shattered because of this heavy pandemic, which is taking a heavy toll of various large number of human lives. If we recollect that we never thought that this will create a huge problem for all of us, because initially when it started, if I recollect, somewhere in the month of November, December, when it started initially in China, nobody thought that this will be such a big problem for entire globe. Because everybody thought that this is a specific problem for Chinese country because of their special eating habits of animal foods and all that, and that is why this may not bother us. Perhaps this is the biggest mistake the European countries and especially US has done. They have taken this lightly, and that is why they are paying very heavy price for the same. On the contrary, India has taken very early steps to combat this COVID-19. That is why I think on 24th of March, our Prime Minister announced the first lockdown. Because see, the only way to combat this is to maintain social distancing. And to maintain social distancing, you have to lock down the entire activities all over. So, in such a situation, the first lockdown was announced for 21 days on 24th March, which was followed by the second lockdown for 19 days, which will end on 3rd May, as we all are aware. Of course, this 40 days lockdown is a very big period, and this will cost very heavily onto the economy. Now, this is a very big question today, that the cost of this lockdown, if you make a cost-benefit analysis, the cost is very heavy as against the benefits. Of course, there are benefits of saving human lives. So it is a very difficult situation. It's a $1 million question today for everybody, to how long this lockdown to be continued. Because here the question is, you are deciding between saving of lives and saving of livelihood. Both are important. See, saving of life today is also important, because if life remains, then only you can prosper. But there will be one time when this livelihood again have to be saved. Otherwise, there is no use of human being there if there are no livelihoods. So this is now, that is why the government also, you understand, they are working very hard so that some plan will come, the detailed plan will come, that how after 3rd May this lockdown will slowly open. Now there are certain zones they have made, the red zone, the green zone and the orange zone. So it is expected that initially the green zone will get open, then some certain activities will start in orange zone, and the red zone will take some time, because there is a lot of thread there of this community spread. Say when I'm talking to you on this, if you recollect, if you go back previous to some 2 months back, because last 2 months we are facing this situation, the economy as it is was slowing down. If you say recollect the era before this COVID-19, there was some hint of slowdown all over the globe, also all over the economy. Indian economy was also contracted from 7% to 6 to below 5. It was somewhere around 4.70 before this lockdown started, or this pandemic started. Perhaps this COVID-19 has created the last straw, you can say, on the camel's back, that it has completely sealed our future prospects of the economy. Now, once I say this lockdown 40 days to face, the cost which is very heavy, if you quantify this cost, what they say that it is nearly $300 billion loss for 1 month if your country is entirely locked down, if all economic activities are stopped. Now we understand that Indian economy is almost $3 trillion economy. It is not even 3 trillion, it is 2.7 to be precise. So if 1 month loss is $300 billion, within next 2 months, it will be $1 trillion loss. So it's a huge cost we are heading for. And then we have to think, or we have to start thinking on this point, that one day we'll have to start this economic activity, and banking will play a very vital role, because you as all are doing this, that the bank is one, banking sector is one who plays very important role in the economy, and to help out all these MSMEs or all industries or all traders, so that the economic activity will get kickstarted. What they say that India as compared to the globe, I'm just telling you this background because what are the dangers for India of this COVID-19 pandemic? Because we are extremely populated country. See, even if China is more populated than us, if you see the density, it is very severe in India. It is more 3 times what they say as compared to China even. So the problem will be more severe in our country if this community spread starts. So this is one threat. These are the threats for India for this COVID-19. That is why all this government level, they are thinking and thinking once again that when to start this activity, because there is a complete threat of this community transformation because of this density. Secondly, our fiscal strength is not that high. If you see, the GDP tax ratio is very, very low. Tax-paying community in India is very low. So the revenue opportunities in India are very low. And the government's capacity to spend on create this fiscal deficit is very, very meager, I can say, as compared to the European countries or other developed countries. So this is another big threat for India, that we do not have that fiscal muscle power to sustain this lockdown. And the third, of course, is the infrastructure facilities in India. Infrastructure facilities are so poor, especially in medical, all these facilities. What they say is there is only one doctor for 1 lakh population in India. This is the proportionate. You get only one ventilator for 1 lakh people. So this is how the medical facilities or infrastructure is also very poor. And that is why we have to take caution. And that is why perhaps Prime Minister has thought all of this thing, and suo moto he initiated this lockdown at a very early stage. And that is why on the background, it seems that India is at present at least not facing a huge problem, because still lot of time to go, because we never know. The testings are going on, and what they say that the numbers are shown less because the testings are not happening at a very rapid pace. If the testing starts happening, then only we'll come to know that how many people are actually infected because of this. So with this background, these are the threats for a country like us. At the same time, we have some strengths in our country. That what today they say that India is the youngest country in the world today, having maximum population between 18 to 55. And the young people naturally having more power, more immunity power, to combat this disease, and that is why we can come out of this COVID-19 pandemic in a better format than other countries. Secondly, what they say that as it is, the immunity power of Indian people is more as compared to the European or other foreign countries. It is because of all this atmosphere where they stay and the struggle what they make right from the beginning. So this all puts us in a better position to fight this war as compared to the other countries. Thirdly, you can see this one of the what solace given to the Indian economy in this is the oil prices has suddenly gone down. Oil prices has gone down even there once on one day it was negative even. So this will definitely help Indian economy because our major current account deficit is because of the oil purchase. Is majority of oil purchase and gold. That is the major items in our import, and that causes the current account deficit. So this is a good opportunity for all the countries to pile up the stock of oil, so that on that front, the India at least in next few months they will not be in a problem. So this is a good solace. Another positive point, what they say that there is likely backlash against China now by entire world, because there are lot many, of course at present we cannot say firmly, it is rumor only. People are saying that this virus is not a natural virus, it is a man-made virus, and somebody is behind this and it has opened somewhere in China. So there is some emotional backlash will happen, there is some economical backlash will happen in China, which will benefit India. Because lot many industries or lot many activities can shift from China to India. Already they are started. So this will in post COVID-19 will benefit Indian economy, of course. So all this taking into account, and very recently the monsoon which was declared, prediction regarding the monsoon was an average monsoon this year. So this gives a very good solace to us that the agriculture output will be better, or at least the rainfall is average this year. So this will reduce some burden onto us. So with this all background, India is poised to fight this. I don't say that everything is negative. So this is a good, all these points will put us in better position to fight this war against this virus. But then the question now, see, the government, that is why the government has started taking the actions and started giving the stimulus. Now the government stimulus will be generally in two formats in such cases. The first will be definitely the fiscal stimulus, which the government has started somewhere on 26 March somewhere, first time it was been announced through their Garib Kalyan Yojana, where they have given 1,73,000 crore rupees was distributed to various these downtrodden people, the disabled, the farmers, even these women Janadana account holders, and all that. So even the salaries of Manarega was increased. So government is trying to catch hold of that segment of the economy and the society, which is badly hit because of this lockdown. So under these circumstances, the first step of the fiscal stimulus was been announced. We expect, because government said that this will, if this does not get over within a particular period, will come out with some additional stimulus also. So we are waiting that what more stimulus will come. Of course, there are some limitations as far as fiscal stimulus are concerned. Then the government started the second most important as a banker is a monetary policy stimulus, which generally is given through the controller, that is the Reserve Bank of India, Central Bank of India. So that monetary policy stimulus has come on 27 March 1st, when the governor announced certain policies for banking, because it is the banks through which all the credit flow happens into the economy, and that is why they wanted to give this leverage to bankers, the banking industry as such. The first was the repo rate was reduced by 75 basis points. So it has reduced to 4.40%. Now, what do we understand by a repo rate? Is for in a simplified in a manner to understand that this is the rate at which we banks borrow from Reserve Bank of India. So my borrowing cost has gone down because the rate has gone down to 4.40. So naturally, I will pass on this benefit to my borrowers so that the others, the entire economy will get the credit at cheaper rate. So this is the impact of this reduction into the repo rate. The second stimulus was given, that was the CRR was reduced by 1%. It was 4% previously. Now it has reduced to 3%. Now this CRR is nothing but this is a cash reserve ratio which every bank has to maintain with Reserve Bank of India against their net demand and time liabilities. So certain 4%, if I have 100 rupees of deposit, I have to put 4 rupees in Reserve Bank of India. So that much amount is blocked. Now I can invest only 3 rupees. I have to invest only 3 rupees. So this also increases my liquidity. And this stimulus will help bankers to have more money to, for the credit deployment. So this is another stimulus given by the Reserve Bank of India. And the third most important was the moratorium was offered to all the borrowers across all segments, agriculture, MSME, corporate, everywhere. The 3 months moratorium was been announced by Reserve Bank of India. That was started from 1st March and it will end on 31st May. Now, initially there was a confusion over this moratorium period. See, this moratorium period was applicable to all term loan accounts where their installments, they get a holiday period for this 90 days. So they need not pay their installments, and these installments will be then shifted later on to after this moratorium period. Of course, the interest will keep on accruing on this. So interest portion will have to be paid by the borrower. That is why all the banks have given these messages. Even our Bank of Maharashtra has sent all the messages to all the eligible borrowers on SMS, because we have to keep this social distancing. So we cannot reach out to the people and tell this. So through emails and through messaging, we have informed this to all the eligible borrowers that look, your moratorium this 3 months has been granted to you. If you want to opt it, you just say yes, reply to us, because this is optional. Some maybe those who are salaried people whose income is regular, which is not affected by because of this COVID impact, they may continue paying their installments because they don't want to pay additional interest on that. But others, especially MSME borrowers or businessmen, where their liabilities, other liabilities are huge and their entire activity is closed down, so there is no other source of income for them, they can take the benefit of this moratorium. So this was been announced, but there was a confusion regarding the NPA categorization of this. Later on, that was cleared somewhere in on April 17, when RBI has come out with another clarification on this moratorium, and they have clarified that this moratorium will not be counted for your NPA recognition. So your account will not become NPA. Whatever status of your account as of 1st March will be carried forward up to the 1st June. So same status will remain. So if it is standard on 1st March, it will remain standard up to 1st June. So that clarification later on was received. So this is a huge relief to all the borrowers across banking industry across, because that much definitely borrowers were saved. Otherwise, their account, if would have classified as NPA, we all know that once your account is stamped as NPA, you are barred for various benefits which are otherwise available to you, because an NPA borrower cannot have that benefits. And to save that, the RBI has done this good step. RBI has taken good stimulus has been given. Similarly, in case of cash credit accounts, what they say that your 3 months interest will not be demanded. You need not pay that interest. Of course, after this moratorium is over, that is after 31st May, you will have to pay entire interest in lump sum. So this is for the cash credit accounts. Term loan, it is only the installment, so it will be just shifted later on. In cash credit, this interest burden will have to be paid after 1st June. but that they will have to pay immediately in lump sum for all these 3 months. However, one benefit they have given to the cash credit accounts that their account can be restructured during this period. So I can change their margin, I can recalculate their cycle, I can readjust their debtors creditors position, and accordingly I can fix the limit. So this leeway was being given, and most importantly, because of this, the account will never become NPA. Because previously, when any restructuring has to happen, that account was one notch down was to be classified. So it was to be classified as NPA. So that was not useful for the borrower, because otherwise that branding once happens, he loses various benefits in the industry. So this is one of the important factor RBI has made, that this account will not be classified as NPA. And one more, then later RBI has come out with another thing, that they have reduced this reverse repo rate by 25 basis. This I can tell you in a short, that reverse repo rate is the rate where if I have an excess funds as a banker, if I cannot deploy in the credit, I put it to the RBI in a reverse repo and I earn interest. So that was previously 4%, now it is reduced to 3.75. So one of the important impact of this is now bankers will averse investing in reverse repo, because 3.75 is a very meager interest rate. Instead, will be encouraged to deploy credit more and more into the economy. So this was another point. Then RBI has also come out with various other stimulus packages for NBFCs, for mutual funds. They have created a term loan repo lending window for bankers for 50,000 crore that has to be invested, especially in NBFC, because NBFC is another sector in our economy which reaches out to the lowest level of the borrower, where banks even cannot reach. So there are a lot of unorganized sector, trading sector is there. So that people, those who are not even GST compliant or not even doing anything, they are just their small shops and running some small activity, their NBFC can play a very vital role, and that is why NBFC has to be also strengthened, and that is why Reserve Bank of India has given this 50,000 crore window to banking industry, so that they can invest in NBFC, they can lend to NBFC. Similarly, another 50,000 crore was being given to the banking industry. This is in the form of refinance, 25,000 to the NABARD, 15,000 to the CDB, and 10,000 to the NHB, so that they can refinance this to their activities, so that agriculture, MSME, and housing sector also will get some boost. So this was what stimulus Reserve Bank of India had also given to encourage all bankers, also banking industry also, and especially to help the economy to come out of this situation. Now, my dear friends, the big question today is not the liquidity, because see, bankers as it is having excess liquidity. If you recollect, in March 1920 year, the credit growth itself was hardly 6% or 6.16 something. So credit deployment was as it is not happening previously before this stimulus given by RBI. So liquidity was already excess with the bankers. At present, almost in the entire banking industry, 3 lakh crores are lying idle, because there is no demand from the borrower, right borrower, so that they cannot deploy into the economy. And so, how long this liquidity stimulus will help banking industry is a big question today, because major problem will be from demand side. There should be a proper demand from the borrowers, so that the bankers have started the various schemes, so that they can inform to their, reach out to their borrowers, and they can help out to these borrowers under this difficult situation. Various banks have taken their schemes, such as Bank of Maharashtra has also come out with the scheme. There is an immediate suspense emergency credit line given to all these COVID-19 hit borrowers, where we are giving 10% of the existing working capital limit without any collateral security, additional security, without any margin, without any processing fee immediately. So this 10% they can immediately use for their legitimate expenses, such as payment to their employees, salaries, their other government dues, taxation payments, so that they can survive during these 3 months. Even this stimulus can be from 10% to 25% to MSMEs under various schemes. So we are here open. Now the question is how to reach out to the borrowers. See, because now I am sitting in Pune. You all know that Pune is a red zone area. Within Maharashtra is another badly hit state under this COVID-19. So this is a big challenge for a banker even today, how to reach out to the clients. And that is why we are meeting through this webinar, so that this message should be spread. See, for this, we have already sending messages, SMS to all the borrowers that look, these are the schemes. We have put these schemes on the website, on our Facebook, on our all sites, so that the people, we cannot reach out physically, but through digital modes, we are trying to reach out to the people and to understand that if they are requiring any help under this situation. We have also a scheme for retailers, means individual borrowers for their personal loan scheme, that is up to 3 lakhs rupees. Up to 3 lakh rupees, you can take this for your personal expenditure if you are a housing loan account holder of Bank of Maharashtra. Then you can immediately have this 3 lakh without having any additional security or any additional margin or any additional processing fee. So this 3 lakh is given for the retail clients, and for the businessman, of course, 10% to 25% of their existing limits. There are many schemes for MSMEs which are there in our Bank of Maharashtra. There is a separate scheme for contractors. There is a separate scheme for hospitality business. There is a separate scheme for GST payers. There is a separate scheme for professionals. So all these schemes are continued. Only what I appeal to entire all clients, that they should now come out and reach out to the bank, because see, it's a challenge today, because we have to maintain this social distancing. We have to cannot have this social gathering. We cannot go personally and visit the borrowers. So borrowers, they have to digitally, through email, through SMS, they have to reach out to us. They have to express their willingness. Then we will definitely see to it that how their whatever need is satisfied through our banking or all branches or through our office also. We have made a separate cell in our zonal office also, so that if you cannot reach out to the branch, because in Pune there are certain area which is sealed by police commissioner, so we cannot enter into that area at all. So that area is totally sealed. So such clients, they can directly contact me here in a zonal office. Idea is that this immediately emergency funding is required for these borrowers to survive, because we don't know. See, this is a very big question here today. We are up against that. This crisis is never thought of crisis situation, because we never know that how long it will run. Now people say that after 3rd May some activities will get started, but there are certain activities, if we categorize, see, the services sector will get a biggest hit, because services sector, which contributes maximum in our economy, 55% in our economy, then the manufacturing sector, and then agriculture. Services sector, because it requires calls for a social gathering. The activities like tourism, hospitality, all this will get a very bad hit. Even these malls, they cannot get started before, I think, September, what the people are saying. So this is a huge imaginary impact. As a banker, what I can say, that you can come forward for this emergency credit helpline. I have various schemes for you. Banking industry as such is doing all these efforts. See, we are, as an essential service, we are working in spite of all pressures. Of course, there is certain restrictions in certain areas, but then the things are moving. So I'm sure that we'll definitely come out of this all menace, and we will combat this war successfully. Now, from this is from I just wanted to brief my dear friends. Now, if you want a specific queries and questions, you can go in for, or you want a certain specific scheme. See, the scheme is simple. The scheme is 10% ad hoc facility, immediately, emergency basis. We will give 10 to 25% of your existing limit. This I am talking about all the existing borrowers, of Bank of Maharashtra. This is for businessmen, and for others, it is 3 lakh for personal expenditure. Those who are having housing loan account with us. Other than that, all other of my previous schemes are working. So you can have normal banking also with us. So the only challenge for you will definitely to reach out to us, and come to us and meet us, and that we'll have to plan. And slowly we expect that this lockdown will get over and the things will improve. So with this, I conclude my initial brief, and I keep this forum open for any discussions.
Sir, we are getting questions on the chat. So I'll read one by one, and
Okay.
if possible, you can just answer those queries at that time.
Yes, go ahead.
Dr. Ramesh Sachdeva has asked, for MSMEs, Bank of Maharashtra has announced a pre-approved working capital enhancement of 10%. So
Yes.
for service industry, including IT companies, the fixed cost is as high as 50%. So if is it possible for an extension of 25% for the service industry also?
It is in MSME. If you are categorized in MSME as a service industry, we can give up to 25%. See, this 10% is a special scheme, but we have 3 schemes. One is for 10%, one is for 15%, one is for 25%. So we can give up to 25%. No issues, absolutely. Provided that IT firm is categorized as MSME. Means you know that it depends upon the investment in plant and machinery. That criteria is declared by the government up to 5 crore, I think. So if it fits into MSME category, that firm will get 25% surely.
Is this this pre-approved without collateral?
Yes.
Collaterals?
This is without collateral. This is on the way. Only thing, he should be my client, existing client.
Existing client, okay.
So I have everything with me. Already the security is with me. Already limit with me. I will just put on the charge on that without processing fee, without any margin further, and we'll give it to you.
Okay, sir. The next question is from Mr. Harshal Godbole. Are these MSME schemes hosted on your bank's website?
Yes. They are. In fact, additionally, we are sending SMS also to all the borrowers.
And what if not, means the borrower is not the customer of Bank of Maharashtra and want to avail these schemes?
Now see, for that person, the other schemes are open. See, MSME loans are always open for everybody. So it is not that only the existing client will get the benefit. Existing client will get benefit immediately on emergency basis. Here he will have to go through that process of all the submission of documents and sanctioning, and on case to case basis we will sanction him. No issues, absolutely. He is most welcome.
There's one question from Mr. Shirish Afle. I am into solar power plant, a business current account with Bank of Maharashtra. Don't have any CC limit. Can Bank of Maharashtra help with emergency cash crunch for labor payments?
Yes,
he has a current account. He has a current account with Bank of Maharashtra.
He does not have any limit. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll give him a fresh limit. No issues. Because he cannot be under emergency because he is not having already limit. But he will get a fresh limit. No issues. Absolutely. He can contact. We'll give him.
Okay. Any specific schemes for construction industry?
Construction industry contractors, we have a specific scheme. Those who are in the contractor business, means they are either government contractors. Construction, you are referring to real estate or commercial real estate, then it is a different scheme. I am talking about the contractor only.
Okay.
Real estate, there is not a scheme with bank at present, at least. We are hoping that we may get, if this continues, because that sector is also got a badly hit this particular era.
There's one question. What is the duration for the loans, and will it be added to the current loan?
See, the duration is 24 months, means is a 2 year, and of which first 12 months will be moratorium. So you need not pay any installments for first 12 months, because we presume that this situation will remain there for next 3 to 6 months, and any activity takes time to again come to the normal course. So first 12 months have been given moratorium. Next 12 months he has to repay. So technically he gets 2 years, 24 months.
There's one question. What amount of cash credit will be approved if average sales in last 3 years is 15 lakhs with no existing loan?
See, he is a new customer or existing customer. He is generally, we will consider that he is a fresh person. If he has then he has a 15 lakh of turnover, so he may get maximum 3 lakhs, 20% of his turnover.
Okay. My colleague Rujuta Jagtap has asked, is Bank of Maharashtra doing OEM financing, bill discounting for MSME customers without recourse of MSMEs for securing their receivables?
Yes, sir, we are doing it. Bank of Maharashtra is doing it.
And what would be the rate of interest for CC accounts?
No, it is again the rating, credit rating. What generally we do, that we have internal credit rating system. We rate that account accordingly, and accordingly the rate is fixed. Again, it depends upon what collateral he is offering. Everything is there, but it is not much. It is between 9 to 10%. See, as an MSME, you get 2% interest subvention. So there you get a leeway of 2%. So technically, your applicable interest will be 7%. And then if you are giving some collateral, that 50 basis point, again we can give some benefit to you. Again, if you can, your rating is good, means that depends upon your all performance, your balance sheets and all that. If that fits into our matrix, another 50 basis point we can give. So your net rate of interest goes to 6% almost for MSMEs.
Sir, and one question from my side. All the schemes being offered by Ministry of MSME, are those applicable for the accounts with Bank of Maharashtra, like CGT, MSE or CLCSS or other schemes?
That schemes are already open from years together. That whatever scheme, see, we are the public sector bank, so whatever will come from ministry naturally will be applicable to us first. So it is all are applicable, all are running in Bank of Maharashtra. Up to 2 crore without any collateral we give under CGT MSE, we give loan.
Khatawkar sir, there is one request. Can you share the contact number whom we can contact at the Bank of Maharashtra? People are asking for that.
No issue, sir. See, I am sitting here as a Pune city zonal head. My contact number, I can give mobile also, 77-386-15612.
77-386 77386
15
612.
612.
And your email ID, sir?
Email ID is zmpcz.
Yes.
@mahabank.co.in. So this is my number. Maybe if it is busy or whatever, you can take my credit in charge number also, because he is into credit only. So he will get connected with you immediately.
Okay.
That is 98237.
Just 1 minute. 98237.
22121. 121.
121.
He is Mr. Kale. He is our credit in charge. So you can get into touch with him also, because my number, of course, I shared, but only maybe if I'm busy or wherever, you can contact that number also.
Sir, can you repeat your email address, please?
ZMPCZ, ZM is zonal manager. ZMPCZ is Pune City Zone. ZMPCZ @mahabank.co.in.
Okay, so I'll conclude. Khataukar sir, thanks a lot for sparing your time and giving us a brief about the economic scenario during this lockdown period, and also explaining about your schemes, various schemes for overcoming this lockdown period. Thanks a lot. And I'll also thank you all the participants who have joined this e-session. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a great pleasure for me. Thank you very much. Thank you.